With regard to disclosure and transparency, in the Internet media, full disclosure and transparency as to the source of the information is an appropriate means to convey to users the origin of the content in a way that's readily apparent to users. This approach is currently accepted within the Internet environment and is used in other online advertising contexts. For example, content that's been created by or under the control of an advertiser on WebMD is designated as sponsored by or from the sponsor. In these cases, we make it readily apparent to the user that the content is under the control of an advertiser, typically the pharmaceutical manufacturer. Because of the new and emerging environments within which the Internet operates, both publishers and advertisers or sponsors need to ensure that the audience can clearly and intuitively identify the source of the content, as well as make a distinction between independent editorial content and advertising or sponsored messaging. In terms of specific social media applications, we believe that there are several means available for improving the quality and effectiveness of social media applications that may be relevant in the context of the pharmaceutical company participation. And while we believe there is value to these social media applications, we also understand that there's a higher level of responsibility that's appropriate in the use of this new media. Community applications such as member-to-member interactions, blogs, user forums, postings, etc., are gathering spots for users and offer users a place to learn and share information with each other. Many of our users have told us that their community experiences on WebMD have truly helped them cope, manage, and for many, thrive in ways that could not have been achieved otherwise. We believe that the safeguards we currently have in place regarding community applications could be employed specifically in the context of pharma participation and sponsorship. Although neither the sponsor of these community activities nor the website should be responsible for the content accuracy in these situations, websites can employ features that provide for more responsible and thoughtful engagement, and which recognize that the ultimate responsibility for user-generated content and comments rests with the user. Users should be required to abide by standard terms of usage in connection with their online and interactive activities. Those policies generally limit abusive, threatening, or disruptive conduct. They also limit solicitations or commercially oriented actions by users. Likewise, a professionally trained moderator staff should be employed to remove postings or exclude users that violate the terms of use. A report abuse button, prominently displayed, can aid in notifying moderators of violations. WebMD actively monitors its community areas today to ensure compliance with published policies and to remove postings or exclude users when we believe those policies have been violated. My point is that community features do have limitations and some higher level of responsibility must be applied. With respect to the use of health experts, message boards and health exchanges can be supportive and educational and can offer consumers the opportunity to interact with other persons who possess knowledge in specific areas, even when those boards and exchanges are sponsored by third parties. In those instances, experts who are paid by third parties should fully disclose any interest, and the FTC's guidance regarding the use of paid bloggers can identify those types of arrangements. In addition, experts should possess a minimum level of qualification, such as a professional background in a particular area and perhaps a specialized degree. They should have a level of experience in handling the subject matter and responding appropriately to user inquiries. Policies should fully explain the limitations of these activities. A comprehensive set of moderator policies, together with appropriate management, can effectively achieve the goals of user education in a responsible manner and should be available to users. In terms of adverse event reporting, I believe that pharmaceutical companies have had limited involvement in social media activities to date, in part due to concerns about how to handle potential adverse event reporting. In connection with pharma-sponsored social media applications, we believe an option for consideration should be to prominently display links to the FDA's MedWatch site, a site through which users can voluntarily report adverse incident events. For example, today, WebMD currently displays the FDA-directed module on our consumer website in areas, for example, like our drug monograph, where people speak back and forth about how they're tolerating a particular medication. That would enable users to link directly to the FDA's MedWatch site. The language displayed within the module states you are encouraged to report negative side effects of prescription drugs. Please visit FDA MedWatch website or call 1-800-FDA-1088. This feature enables users to provide relevant information directly to the FDA in a timely manner, and we believe this approach could be effectively adopted in the context of social media applications that would involve pharma industry participation. So finally, and in conclusion, today we have available to us a medium that is not limited in time or space, such as traditional media has been. We believe that the pharmaceutical industry can responsibly participate in this medium and in the new media of social media in a manner that provides substantial value to the health of consumers, to the education of physicians, and to the improvement of the industry overall. Thank you.
Any questions from the FDA panel? Dr. Aiken?
Thank you very much for your presentation. I just wanted to follow up on the adverse event reporting. Do you have a sense of how many people are actually clicking on the MedWatch website to report side effects or adverse events?
We do know that. I don't know that off the top of my head, but we'll be happy to get that back to you.
Any other questions? Ms. Davis.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. I have a question about your policies on public areas. You talked about how they limit solicitations or commercially oriented actions by users. How would you see that fitting in with pharma reps participating in the public areas, that limitation on commercially oriented use?
Well, if I don't really know who they are and they are a pharma rep, certainly we would hold them to the same guidelines as any other consumer. And if we saw that a particular individual, based upon the number of prompts or discussions, seemed to be slanting or biasing their dialogue in the way of favoring a product, we would intervene.
Okay.
Any other questions? Dr. Kang.
Thank you. I don't know if you have the answer to this, but I thought I'd go ahead and ask. So when you said that Internet users fully understand the use of links and their usefulness for fully providing additional information, do you have any data as far as specifically when users are being told they're clicking to maybe risk information for a particular product or just more disease state information, any kind of aggregated data like that?
In general, I mean, obviously the web overall uses links for disclosures in many different ways, whether you're renting a car, booking an airline, et cetera, charging some to your credit card. So it's a pretty prevalent and commonly used way to disclose information. On WebMD and with respect to health information, we use links as a typical user experience way of not just sort of disclosure of adverse situations or risks, but to drill into deeper information. Because as we all think how we use the web, some of us just need a quick answer and we'll go horizontally. Others, want a more considered response and they'll go vertically. And again, rather than sort of the old school way of printing everything out and you having to find the page that might be most relevant to you, links is the way that people navigate the web. It is the user experience. Links is a critical part of how we move horizontally from topic to topic and deeper at times and then back out and horizontally again. So as we even think about designing that experience, links is always a critical part that we look at initially and that we test on an ongoing way. Because clearly if people aren't clicking on those links, then we think we're doing a poor job. We think that we're not presenting them at the point in time that is the most useful. Links shouldn't be thought of as a way to sort of hide information or make it difficult for people to find what otherwise might be more prevalent, but rather a better way of presenting that information when it's most relevant. And our experience is when you do that and give users sort of that freedom of going the direction that they so choose at that point in time, the user experience is clearly enhanced, and so is the educational experience.
I think that would be very interesting data if you have time to submit to our comment, too, as far as some more details about the number of clicks and things like that you're getting.
Thank you, Mr. Gattinella.